All right, we're going to jump into a monthly budget. So if you don't know how to set one up or you need motivation to set one up, grab your stuff. Let's do it together. Hey everyone, this is Laura at Lyman Joy, and today I'm going to show you how to do a monthly budget setup. So before I started doing budgeting setups, I was always like missing bills and behind on bills, and money was coming and going, and I had no idea where it was coming and going from. So what I learned was having a budget is the number one first step you must do every month with your money, so that when it comes into your bank account, you're telling it where to go and it's not just running out and you running after it. So make sure that you get this plan set in place so you're successful and you can really go into February strong. If January wasn't good for you, then step into February a little bit better with me. All right, so go ahead and grab pen and paper or your budget, and we're just going to go ahead and start budgeting for February. So I've set up the months already. Let me zoom you in so you can see. All right, so like I said, we're in February. I got from the 1st to the 29th. I like to label out my paychecks. So if you get just one paycheck, map that out and all the bills will fall into it. Or if you have multiple paychecks, I like to cash stuff 3 times a month. So you see my number 1 paycheck will be the first cash stuffing. These are the same color. 2 and 3 will be the cash stuffing, and 4 and 5 will be cash stuffing. I do fall in an extra paycheck here, but I'm just going to put it into the next month. Otherwise, the paychecks will be too far apart in the way that I budget my money. So instead of having extra this month, we'll deal with that in March. All right. So unique things to consider. I am in a 4-month no spend challenge. Yeah, I know it. I can't believe it. Okay. So because I'm in a 4-month no spend challenge, I have to be really thinking and being really strategic in what I'm planning out. Special occasions, we got Valentine's Day coming up. And budget updates. I do think I might have one little bit of a bigger paycheck, but we're just going to increase it as I come because I'm not 100% sure about that. And I do think I might have a little side hustle money coming in, but I don't know if I get paid out this month or next month. So we'll wait to see if I'm having any side money come in. We'll put a question mark there because I'm not 100% sure about that one. Okay. So now that I've looked and I thought about what's coming up, now I'm ready to kind of break down all of my bills. All right. So like I said, February, I'm planning for the 11,200. I think it's going to be more like 12,200. But I'm not sure if it's this month or next month, so I don't want to plan for something, let's not count those chicks before they hatch kind of a thing. All right. So we're going to just start off with my tithing. It's going to be 1232. My groceries and gasoline I put in here as bills. This is because they're essential. They're just as essential as my mortgage, and they're just as essential as having a car and car payments, all that stuff. So I like to budget for it first, not after and with my bills. Okay, so for groceries, I'm in a no spend for 2024. I'm trying to cut down as small as possible. If you've been here a while, you know that I started out about $1,200 in groceries. I went to 1,000, and if you've noticed, I dropped my last one to 800, and I was just over it by $19. So I'm going to be super bold and say I'm only going to spend 700 in groceries. And I do want to preface by saying this is my paper products as well, is in my groceries. So I put like paper products and groceries all in one. And we're a family of, well, there's 8 of us, but 4 live at home, so 6 of us at home. This takes a lot of strategical planning for me to pull it off that small amount, but I'm up for the challenge, especially because I'm doing no spend and I'm planning out all my meals. I'm ready to go get it. Plus, I do fasting, and so like me and my husband are entering into a 3-day fast, a 72-hour fast. And I do like fast like a girl. Actually, I just made myself my pre-fast lunch. I'll put it here. It's really good. They have recipes in the back of her book. I love following her. She's Dr. Mindy on YouTube. I'll put her in the links below too because she's just fabulous. I love her. I've been doing fasting for over a year and a half, 2 years. So it took that long to get up to the 72-hour fast, but I love doing it at least once a month right now as I'm trying to reset my body and heal through some good, some things that I've put into my body over the years have been good for me. Gasoline, I'm going to put it at 700 as well. My husband travels pretty far for work. My mortgage is going to be 2450. Now I'm hoping to save money on gasoline because we're going to be really careful about like where we go, and if we can walk there, we will, because it's part of that no spend challenge. My dyslexia school for my son is $795. Donations are going to stay the same at $75. My cable hasn't changed. Subscriptions haven't changed. Capital One or my electric bill. If you're new here, I take credit cards, pay them off, and then put a bill on it so it revolves and pays. So my electric bill gets paid in the beginning of the month, and then at about 2 weeks in, auto bill pay from my checking account pays it off. So I never have any interest, but I keep that line of credit open, and it makes me look really good on like a credit score. So, okay, my phone bill is still $299, and my student loan is still $500, or I should say my husband's rather. Car payment is $313. My ECU bill pay is just $10. I paid this one off, and I don't have a bill set up on it yet, so I will probably take either my, I don't know, like my maybe a phone bill or something like that and put it on there and have it set to auto pay. I just haven't decided yet. Haven't had the chance. My city car insurance is, see, $320 for car insurance. And this is because, guys, it's me and my husband, and when you have teenagers involved, they charge you a fortune. Okay, Home Depot is $30. And Capital One Kohl's. Now, I do want to just say these are all paid off, but I opened up a second line HELOC, and it was really awesome. Just a little testimony so far. My credit score went from about 720 something all the way to 810 by doing that. I'm keeping the cards open. My HELOC's only accessed at about, I don't know, maybe a little more than 50%. And so my debt to income ratio looks brilliant. And I'm doing this because we're strategically setting ourselves up for when that's paid off for a first position HELOC to do something called like kind of like a velocity banking, but basically you use your mortgage, you're in your first position HELOC to pay off your home in about 5 to 7 years, depending on how diligent you are. So that's why I'm doing that. Okay, solar, $169. I will share my journey along the way if anybody is interested, so they can see, does it really work? Because I like to be completely transparent so others can find freedom in your journey too. All right, Amazon is just the 20, water and trash 120, Gardner 120, my Vivint security system 17, and Banfield for Mr. Coda 40. And boy, does he need it, because here in California it has rained for like 4 days, and it's going to rain for 4 more days straight, so he's a hot mess. All right. Okay. So just again, most of these credit cards will all be canceled as soon as I have that HELOC in the first position. They're just being kept open because it basically makes my credit look brilliant. So if you need a big credit jump and you have that accessibility to putting in a HELOC and doing that, it also put my APR to 3.99 for all of them so that I could kind of pay it off even more quickly. Let's add this up really quick and see how much money it'll be for my total expenses this month. All right, 8467 is my total expected expenses, and my income is 11,200. So 11,200 minus 8467 is giving us 2733 is what I should have left over at this minimum 11,200. And I've been asked this again for variable budgets. If you have a variable paycheck, you're going to look over the last 6 months, and you have 2 ways to do it. Pick the lowest pay and do it off of that. That way you're never, under budget, but always over budget. That'd be really good to live, very frugal like that and able to put your extra money when you're paid more towards other things anyway. Or take the last 6 months and find your average and make that. But just make sure to always veer on the lower side versus the higher side, so you always have extra money and never short, okay? So that's what I'm doing. I think I will have a little bit extra because it's not guaranteed, right? So it's variable in a way. I'm not going to count on it, okay? So 2733 is what we're working with today, and now we are doing that monthly budget overview here. I'm going to put this number 2733 I like to see right here, just to remember how much money I am working with from that bill, left over, okay? All right, so I'm going to do my HELOC last, as anything that's ever left over, I add it on to my snowball. So my snowball was 1200. It's going to continue to be the 1200, but I'm going to throw extra money to the HELOC of anything that is left over. All right, so reason is I didn't fill these out. Usually I do fill them out and I don't do them with you and I just do the totals, is that I wanted to work through a little bit of how I'm going to plan for a no spend. So if you're doing a no spend, you need to evaluate where you're pulling extra money, why you're doing a no spend. I'm doing it because I want to be debt free. I'm sick and tired of having debt and I want to have it gone once and for all. So because that's my goal, maybe yours is building wealth, finding where your extra money coming from, or maybe yours is, cutting back that spending habit. So maybe you will cut back spending during your no spend, right? Mine is simply to pay off debt as fast as possible. So because of that, I'm going to cut back in these areas as much as I can. So eating out, usually we're going to go off the last months because it's been that way for quite some time. I usually budget $90, so that's $30 a paycheck, and we're going to bring it down to, see what's the least I could possibly do. I'm thinking in my mind, if I go to like Taco Bell, I need at least like $40. So let's do, instead of $30 a paycheck, we're going to do 15. So we're going to bring it down to $45, which means my kids will eat out one time at a very frugal place, maybe even just like, Subway or something like that. Date night, I'm still going to do that. I think that I need to keep it at 45. I don't think there's like really, maybe less. I don't want to do 45. How about 25? We'll cut back there. Kids extra, well, they really haven't needed much, and I think I'll keep it at 15. This is kind of like an emergency spot. I don't know. You know what? Nope, I'm going to be bold. We're going to do 0 here, okay? If we have an emergency, we'll pull from the emergency fund. Spending, this is my spending, is usually 30, but I'm not going to do any, so we're going to cut that out. My fun money for the kids, we're not going to do any of that because that is going to go to, we're going to find things to do for free. If you haven't seen my no spend video, I'll put it above here. But basically, I've already planned out strategically different things to do on my no spend. I have kind of some action steps to walk more places, to cut out money here, what we're doing right now, and to plan activities ahead of time that are for free. So when the time comes that we want to go do something as a family, I already have things planned out, so we're not tempted to spend any money. Miscellaneous oops, we're going to not do that one either. We're going to just go ahead and hold off, and if I have an emergency, I have an emergency fund. My hubby's spending, he's on a no spend as well. But childcare did increase to actually $400 a month, unfortunately. So that is just the way that is, but I am doing some side hustles to hopefully make up for that. But that is $400 a month. Okay. Car registration is doing fairly well, but I do $100 a month. We're going to keep it there just because that's a bill. It's kind of necessity. Pet care, we are going to do no spend. So I have a little bit in pet care already, but talked to my son, and we're going to just wash them at home and take care of them at home for right now. Health, I do think I'm going to keep it at 15 as I buy my, I have a son who has ADHD and he's on like magnesium, zinc, and omega-3, which totally helps him kind of mellow his mood and focus. So we got to keep that going. Birthdays, I actually have to keep that going too. Otherwise my sinking fund will fall behind, as well with school at 15 and haircuts at 45. And clothing, I have to keep going because that's a revolving fund. And my eldest son just said he needed new cleats for rugby. So got to keep that going. All right, my long-term sinking fund, I'm hoping to do 300, but let's see if we even have enough money to do that, and then we'll adjust accordingly. Okay, so we're going to take that 27.33. So after bills, we have 27.33. We're going to wait for a second for debt snowball. Let's add this up. We have 400 plus 25 plus 45. So we have 470 here. And we have 100 plus 15 plus 90 plus 15 plus 45 and another 15. We have 280 here. So now let's see, if we have 27 minus 1200 minus 470 minus 280 minus 300. Okay, we have 483. So 483 is going to go here. And again, I'm hoping it's way more than that because I did side hustles and things like that. So the 1200 plus 483 gives me 1683. So after bills, that's how much was left over. We're going to subtract my debt snowball in HELOC, which is 1683 is what I'm minimum going to pay. So 1683 minus those cash envelopes as well, 470. And then minus those sinking funds of 280. And minus that savings challenge of 300. That is going to give us a zero-based budget. This is going to be super important. Again, like I said, this is how you tell your money where to go, and it doesn't tell you where to go. So if you stick to your budget, you should have money for all your bills, for your food, for your gas, and your sinking funds. And if you're very, very tight in your budget, and I've said this in other ones, more detailed, watch my playlist that has it from start to finish, how to plan these all out. But is you have less sinking funds. When I started, I think I had 2 cash envelopes, to be very honest. There was no date night or spending or that stuff. I was, very frugal, and like 1 or 2 sinking funds. And I just met those goals. And once I met those goals, I added in 1 more sinking fund. And then I added in 1 more sinking fund. And I kind of just went from there. So no shame in starting with less. It's just about starting. That's the biggest thing. All right. So you got your budget planned out. You got your month planned out. Your month and your budget and your monthly cash envelopes and sinking funds. The only thing I feel like you have left is to make sure you have your check-in all ready to go. And the way that I set this one up is pretty simple. I take out the week, so I have like the 1st through, and I go usually Monday to Sunday. But here, because it starts here, we'll go 1st through 4th. And it's just the way my brain works. You got to do what works for you. 5th through 11th. Okay, and the 3rd is 12th through 18th. 12th through 18th. The 4th is 19th through 25th. 19th through the 25th. And then the last week, 26th through 29th. 26th through 29th. I just like to have it ready to go so that when I go that weekly check-in, I do them on Sunday nights. And I talk to my husband about it. We have that little quick huddle. Hey, this is how we did. And I simply just go over groceries, gasoline, and any extra spending that we had. And if it didn't go well that week, we really get better next week. And we're on a no spend, so that is the biggest reminder right now is you are in a no spend. I need to remember this and keep it posted everywhere. And my frugal goal is meal planning. So actually right when I'm done with this video, I'm going to sit down and meal plan with my husband so that every single item is picked, and we're doing reverse grocery shopping, which meant I just went through my freezer, my pantry, and my refrigerator, and we're shopping from there first and trying to be as minimal at the grocery store as possible. Next month is what? March. So we got St. Patty's Day. And oh yeah, Easter falls on the 31st this month if you celebrate that. All right, that's it. I just always like to write myself a little note that you got this. I got this. We have got this, and we just got to keep on our budgeting journey. If you found something helpful today, put it in the description below. And if there's something that you have an idea that would make my budget even better, I love to hear about it, as I love that we sharpen one another here at Lime and Joy. And as always, please, please find joy in your journey, and I'll see you next time.